to do some sketchy shit. Do-da, do-da, hope I get away with it. Oh, do-da, day.
Hello, folks. I'm Dan Hollifield, and welcome to Last Man Standing. If you had watched Stupid Clock tonight, you would have learned a lot about military and, in particular, naval history, because Lewis showed up for the first time in quite a while, and we were all glad to see him. And a lot of the guests were just kind of going on and on and on about things military, and there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. It's a fascinating subject, and they have personal history, and I am very glad to learn about that. So I don't think Donna and I have anything to say about military history, but Paul might. So here we have Paul with us, and we got Aunt Donna, and we got Trey and Kiri in the chat. Hey, Trey, you're up late. And Kiri gonna be chatting tired. Oh, tired after your dental adventures. I do understand quite a lot. Thesis is with us too, and don't know whether or not he is too worn out from editing that particular brand new video that he just did, but you know, if he wants a link, I think I've got him set up to where I can get him a link quickly, but we shall see. I am nothing if not flexible, right, Donna?
You told me I couldn't talk about that.
Yeah,
and I could tell you some military stories, but they've got nothing to do with history.
What happens at Hallowcon stays at Hallowcon.
Well, remember, I'm not that far from Chicago. A lot of sailors up there.
I was in the Army, but I'm not enamored with military history. If my father was still alive, he would be. He loved that kind of stuff. But I was in the Army. That's all I can say about history of the military. I was there and it didn't collapse. So,
hey, I don't mind learning new things, especially about stuff I have absolutely no idea what is. which includes most military stuff. But hey, who knows? It might come in handy in a story later. I'm a writer. Everything is grist for the mill, right, Donna?
Thesis is headed home, and he may pop on when he gets there.
That's
This is
perfectly
my nice
fine.
little segue away from that. Have
Well,
you read my books?
Not yet. It's on the list though. Finished Dan's one of Dan's books, Abducted.
ooh, I'm
I haven't looked
sorry.
at the review yet, but no, it was a good story. I think you probably could have. It needed another 200 pages. The characters need a lot more development, but I like the story. I think it has the potential to be a lot bigger story than you let it
Needed
be.
another 200 pages is not a criticism I get very often. It's most of the criticism I get is, oh, this could have been flash fiction.
Well, no, I like character development and stuff like that, and a lot of people don't like character oriented science fiction. I kind of do.
I
Well,
prefer it to science fiction.
Mm-hmm.
No, I like hard science fiction, but that doesn't mean that you don't have good characters in hard science fiction.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, character-driven stories are what I do best, actually. Although I have been told I'm fairly decent at world building. Um, Trouble is, sometimes I get so wrapped up in building the world that I forget there's a story involved.
well, when Abducted goes, it's too fast. It's like, well, shit. I think you could have said a lot more about a lot of the characters, or at least 2 or 3 of the characters. Could have had a lot more character development in it. And I know you're doing the prequel that's going to do that. And
It's done. It's at the publisher. I'm just waiting on them to go, hey, here's your editor. Let's get this whipped into shape.
I guarantee you I'll be reading that too.
I have to say that most of mine are character driven or sometimes driving characters.
Driving characters, driving Miss Daisy. No, driving characters crazy. Uh, oh, Rich. Stung. How sharper than a serpent's tooth. Uh, too wrapped up in the minutiae to forget to write the story. You have no experience with that. Yeah, and if you believe that, you'll buy this watch. Uh, hello, Paul. Okay. Let's see if I can slip.
So you see what I did here, Donna?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're already here.
keep
that
up
was
with this,
Cat for a
Dan.
second there.
Oh, Trey, I was hoping you'd come on.
Twitching at me violently and can't figure out why. And Trey has finished her project and off to bed. We will try and have a great show, dear. Absolutely. The reason those came up in the wrong order is because Rich posted just as I was clicking on Trey's comment. So,
yeah, that's the same thing you banned him one night. It was when you were trying to ban that bot and.
Oh, but that was temporary. Thank God.
That was fun.
People come and go so quickly here. I mean, somebody was being rude, and I tried to click on them to ban them, and got
the next guy
instead. No, Paul, you will greatly enjoy the Tom Darby prequel. The proposed title is "Disposable Man," and it covers when he ran away from home underage and enlisted in the army during the Korean War, became a fighter pilot, and then was kind of shanghaied into flying um, surveillance planes, and then got shanghaied by an alphabet agency to operate on the ground, even though he didn't like that because he liked flying planes. And then the last sentence of Disposable Man is the first sentence of Abducted.
Hmm.
So they flow one right after the other.
Cool. I think I know the Army used to have a bigger Air Corps, but I think now mostly it's just helicopters and the Warthog. I don't think they do much else in the air.
Well, back during that day, it was all Army Air Corps,
Mhm.
and then
Mhm.
the Air Force got made a separate entity. So
Yeah.
now you got Airborne Army, Airborne Marines, Airborne Navy, and the Air Force, who are going, where's our tent in my hotel room? Yeah, and the character development you are wishing for starts off with the Spaceport Bar stories,
Oh, okay.
because not only do you get to meet new characters, but you get to be reintroduced to old characters with a whole lot more character development. So and there's a whole lot more beyond that has not yet been published. I have to re-edit everything and hand it over to the publisher. Plus, I've got new stuff he wants written. There's a whole new book of Spaceport Bar stories that I have not finished yet. And he's going, hey, 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 I told you, now I want this. Um, we'll see. Um, it's been a long process towards since I submitted the stuff and everybody recovering from the plague to actually getting new stuff published. I
And you
understand the
are
reasons why, because we all lost people that were near and dear to us, and it's kind of hard to concentrate on doing a job when you're grieving. So I don't blame a publisher whatsoever. I mean, they lost a lot of folks. But
Thesis, especially since that was probably a short story, you're going to have a lot of time to flesh things out in further episodes, shall we say.
and you haven't even read it yet. It won't be online for uh, 2 more months
oh
or
wow.
a month and a half. Um, hey,
Wondered
I've
why I
got
hadn't
people I've
wondered
got
why I
people
hadn't
sending
heard
me
of it.
stuff. Yeah, people are sending me stuff every
You
day.
could link it to us, Donna, so we could read it ahead of time.
No, Donna doesn't know.
I have nothing to do with it. This is the first time I've heard about it.
Yeah,
I'm saying
Richie.
Thesis could let us read his story.
Hey,
Uh,
Rich.
if Thesis has it online and he wants to allow people to read it before official publication, that is his right. Um,
I can
uh,
wait.
you have to. I'm sorry.
Uh,
Um,
I suppose.
now, somebody sent me an unfinished story, and I was trying to figure
Let me.
who it was. Yeah, I asked Richie, and I'm going, I know you were interested in this particular writer's prompt, and then I'm going, that might be Joe Bachman with his second writer's prompt story, because he mentioned last week in one of the chats that he's got an unfinished submission he needs to send me. So it could have been.
Yeah, he did say that.
I do not know. I'll be glad to. I'll be glad to see the finished work because it was really intriguing up to the part where it went. Where's the next scene? That can't
Now,
be it. Got to be more. Um,
Dan, if somebody wrote Flash, would they get in the published sooner, or would it still be a long time?
that depends on the editor of the Flash section.
And depends on the month.
I am only doing short story editing, and that is only because Aphelion runs through short story editors faster than Spinal Tap runs through drummers.
Yeah, I thought you just might have a heads up on that.
Mm.
On the Flash.
Well, if you send it to me, the best I can do is highly recommend it and forward it to the Flash editor.
Oh, I'd send it. If I was going to do it, I'd send it to the Flash editor because that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. It always helps if you follow the submissions guidelines because there's one guy. There's one guy that refuses to use any of the submission guidelines. Excuse me?
It was Bachman.
It was Bachman.
He sent me current work in progress, chapter 5. The title is The Ghost of the Dark. That's the story that you asked me about. Yep, that was Bachman.
Okay, good. Now, he's got to learn how to put his byline under the title.
He's new at this.
I know he's damn good at it, no matter how new he is, and so is Richie.
Always got too many irons in the fire. So,
hey, when I get submissions that make me go, oh, now I've got competition. I know they're good. Thesis, I told you the way I would have ended the story. That does not mean you have to end it that way. You and I are totally different people. We go in totally different directions, and that's fine. You could probably adapt any of the suggestions I made to you and make the story longer. And that's that is up to you. I am perfectly fine with the way it was. What?
Catch up. I addressed that 15 minutes ago.
If I have to wait, so does everyone else. We can wait, I guess. And he sent me a link to his unfinished story too. Haven't had a chance to read it. Why do I suddenly sound like Nick Tuckert and Fast Forward?
Although
honey, you never sound like you're in Fast Forward.
Yesterday, I figured out how to sync the writing app I use on my tablet to my PC, so I can actually start doing more with the snippets that are running through my head that aren't allowing me to sleep, so that I'm actually writing them on the tablet, and I'm actually writing them on the tablet.
Hey, whatever works.
I think that might help my workflow some.
I've actually got something that right now the only place it's saved to is what is the name of the damn app? Dropbox.
Yeah.
That way I can get to it on all three computers and the iPad at any given time, really. At the same time, I don't know, but
we use Dropbox a lot, and we have one particular file where I can put stuff in that Carl can get, or he can put it that I can get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got Dropbox, iCloud, and Google Drive.
Dropbox, Drive, well, what is Microsoft's OneDrive or
Yeah,
Yeah.
OneDrive. I think that.
Yeah.
something like that.
Microsoft,
The only
let
thing-
me invade your system.
The only thing I have in OneDrive is for OneNote.
If you're tech savvy, you can use GitHub or GitLab, either one.
Never heard of that, but I'll
It's a
look
way
it up.
to. Yeah, you wouldn't want to. It's a way to. It's mostly for programmers, but you can use it for text too.
Oh,
It's a way to store files, and it keeps track of files. It'll keep track of all your changes that you've ever made. It's pretty cool actually.
sounds it. Sounds it.
It's a very handy tool for development. Yeah.
There is a learning curve.
If anything, yeah. Well, there's learning with everything. I mean,
Well, yeah.
Yes, I think almost every writer has had one of those things of going, I can't sleep. The story's not done yet.
Or at least this part of it.
Yeah.
yeah,
Sometimes you can actually tell yourself, okay, I've reached the end of the chapter. That's enough. I need sleep. And sometimes
You-
it's 36 hours later and you're still typing.
You write
a lot
in
of time
chapters.
I'm like, sorry.
Go ahead, Rich. I just asked he wrote in chapters. The fuck is
There's
that?
a lot of times that I'll be like, I got a class in the morning, I got to teach, I really need to go to bed, I can't be falling asleep on my students. And I try to go to bed at a reasonable hour, like 1 a.m. And then I can't fall asleep, so I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, let's get this written down because otherwise I'll forget it before morning, and now I can more easily piece all that stuff together.
And yep. And to answer Donna, I don't consciously plan where chapters happen. It's just later on when I'm editing again, I'm going, oh, this is a good scene change to put a chapter heading.
Yeah.
And sometimes I've got like 5 or 6 scene changes inside of a chapter. It just depends on the story and
I
where
quilt
a
right.
really good break seems to occur. And
Yeah. I quilt right myself. You know
oh
how
yeah,
you make a quilt? Yeah, that's how I
You have
write.
patchwork? Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Patchwork.
Write out different scenes and then figure out how they go together.
Couple of snippets
What?
here, stitch them together.
I wonder if that would be similar to the snowflake method.
A little bit, yeah.
I haven't really looked into that, but a lot of people like it.
I've tried it. It's okay. It's okay for getting down ideas. At least for me.
I'm too ADD for it to do that.
Well,
Maybe
I
I
have
get-
gone back retroactively and said, hey, this unfinished bit that I wrote 2 years ago would fit really well right here.
Right here.
And suddenly, yeah, I've got a scene change I never expected to splice in there. But most of the time, I'm like Rich. I start off with the narrative hook, and I just go from there and let it flow. There's no plot. I'm a total pantser. I've got maybe a general outline that might take up half of a post-it note of how I want everything to go.
and then about pants.
And then
Yeah.
if I get interrupted, God help me trying to pick up the thread again. Some of my worst nightmares are, oh, fuck, I've got to go adult. I'm in the middle of a chapter. Wait, I know how to do this. Keith Laumer taught me. Stop in the middle of a word.
Yeah,
Don't even finish the word.
I've read that before.
And then when when you go back and you're trying to go through like an edit, you get to that unfinished word and you go, "Oh, I know where it was supposed to go from here," because that jogs your memory for some strange human reason. Um, I don't know. Maybe it's biology, maybe it's psychology, maybe it's writers are crazy.
My
Oh.
AD
Well,
whipped my
yes.
ass. I tried that.
Is Rich breaking up for everybody else or just me?
Rich, yeah, your vocals are breaking up.
That's why I figured, because I hear this is breaking me, so I'm pouring through to kill I think.
And now, yeah, now you've really gone.
It's bad now.
And it looks like you might have even frozen.
No, I can see his eyes move.
He's frozen.
He's frozen for me.
Oh, there he goes.
goes.
I told you.
I'm staring at my task manager trying to process it.
Well, and you know, I actually had planned out a story. This is what's happening present day, and then at the end, do a little background as to what had happened to one of my main characters and why she was missing for almost 20 years. And as I kept writing what was going to be a little bit at the end of each chapter, I'm like, that's stupid. Put it all together, epilogue.
Yeah.
The other day, I had an idea for a poem, and I started to write just the first sentence that popped into my head, and then I blinked a couple times, and I had a full page of text that I wrote, just handwriting, and I got the last couple stanzas. I don't know where to go with it, but everything else came out like really quick, and I started retyping it into the computer, and I got to the last part of it, and I'm like, that really sounded terrible, and I can't fix it. Not yet. I just have to keep thinking about it. I've been thinking about it for 2 days. A stupid poem. I don't usually do poetry, but it's rare at least. But
Hey,
sometimes you have to stew over it.
yeah.
And exploring different formats is never a bad thing.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, Billy Collins, I was listening to him. He was talking about writing poetry, and he says most of the time you wind up just staring.
And Sir Paul McCartney always used to practice by he'd have his friends point to something and he would write a poem about it, because let's face it, song lyrics are nothing but poems. So they'd go like the salt shaker, the napkin holder, the window, and that's how he would practice his writing.
Oddly enough, that's how Ray Bradbury worked with a lot of his short stories and things like that too. Is he would build up just a list of words, the leaf, the plumber, the pipe, the stairs, the light switch, stuff like that, and he would just compile this list of words. And when he felt the need to break out of something and things like that, he would go to his list of words and he'd be like, all right, the plumber,
Yeah. Exactly.
Was it a dog and his boy?
That wasn't Bradbury. That was Harlan Ellison.
Bradbury had one where the sick boy sent his dog out into the world to collect scents for him so that he could smell summer and things like that, because he was bedridden and stuff like that. I don't remember the exact title, but that was prompted off of Bradbury's list of words.
That sounds like something out of the Dandelion Wine collection, but
I
I
believe
can't
it
swear
was.
to it. I
I
can't
believe it
swear
was.
to it. Um, I've read an awful lot of Bradbury. And Donna, you have a lot in common with David Bowie, who wrote songs by making individual verses and cutting them up and then rearranging them into the lyrics for a song. He did music like it would did lyrics like a jigsaw puzzle.
Mm.
Hey, this
I,
fits
d-
here better than it did
I,
here.
I would have done Bowie. I mean, yeah, I like
I'm sure you would have, dear. So would a great many of people on this earth. Um,
I've watched a lot of YouTube things about, especially about Labyrinth, and people commenting on Labyrinth, and the one thing that they all have in common is criticizing David Bowie's tight pants and what they show off.
oh, magic fans, yes,
All
indeed.
of
I know.
them. It's like,
Yeah,
really, guys? Of all
he
the
didn't make
things,
the costume. He was assigned the costume.
just because he wore it better than you could have, just get off
Really.
it.
Um, if
The
you
way he
look,
did costumes, I can't say that. I wouldn't say that he didn't have any input in that.
well, I
He
don't know
had
about the labyrinth, but
he did on Labyrinth, yeah.
there's a um, hour or maybe 2 hour long thing that's basically a biography of David, and it's called Cracked Actor. And he did a lot of detailing his cut ups, sort of composition style that he used not all the time, but a lot of the time for, especially for his earlier albums. And it details how he just moved slips of paper around until everything made a coherent whole. That's like some writers will put what's basically post-it notes on file cards or whatever and swap them around until everything flows in uh, one narrative. The emissary was the Bradbury story. Thank you. Uh, and thesis writing an instrumental for your daughter, and that's how I'm writing it. It's just bits of guitar sections, and I'll put them into the song. Yes, and believe me, integrating different jams into a single performance is, I have to respect that because I can't do it. No. Even when I was actually a musician, I couldn't do it. Um, no, my guitar player was a little bit more handicapped than me. Um, Whenever we got interrupted by anything, he had to start over from the beginning every time. Uh, the way I explained it to him was, you've got serial access, I've got random access. I can start at verse 3 and not have to start at verse 1 or intro or whatever. I can pick it up there. He had to start all over again from the very beginning. That's because the way his mind worked, it was all one continual piece. Um,
I can relate to that. I can't tell you
yeah.
my phone number unless I start from the very beginning, the first number. I can't do it.
Well,
Somebody will say, "What's the last four digits of your phone number?" And I have to go, "Okay."
yeah. There's a lot of different things that go. What are the last four digits of your social security number? And I'm going, give me a second. And the only reason I remember my social security number is because that's what I had to write down for every book I checked out of the University of Georgia library
Hmm.
for the 2.5, 3 years I was there. So I got real good at copying that thing down.
Well, as an
I get good at mine in
ex-bookkeeper, my social security number was really simple because it of the pattern it followed. So the last four is fine. The thing is, I go in to pay my Ameren, and when you first go in to pay the electric bill, it has your uh, email and the last four digits of your social security number, and you're supposed to be able to access your account. And I know the last four letters or numbers, and I put the last four numbers in, and it goes, nope, you better log in. And that's the only way I can get to the other login where I have the email and the password. But I know I'm putting in the right numbers. I don't know what's wrong with them. Hi, Matthew.
Sometimes, being dyslexic, I have the problem of putting the right digits in the wrong order. This is why I type everything into a master list, and I can look stuff up. And believe me, that file has never been available for online access. But
Dyslexic of the world, untie.
Exactly. I need that shirt. I really do. But
I had that hat as a baseball cap at one time.
I have to occasionally print out that thing and destroy all previous copies so that if anything happens to me, Lindsay can get into my online accounts.
Yeah. Well, I also have to point out that this is the same company that does not like the fact that I don't have a middle initial.
Huh.
So when it was just me, they put an X in for my middle initial because they have a box for a middle initial on a computer and it has to be filled.
Weird.
And when we got married, when our engagement was announced, his ex had evidently not paid an almost $800 power bill, and it got added to my bill. And I went down there, and Aunt Donna's awfully good at turning on the tears when she wants to. And I accused them that they're the reason we broke up. I'm not paying this bill, so I'm really not paying this bill because it's not mine, and you better give it back to him, and here's his address. And they were just so apologetic. But the minute that we were married, they changed the name on my power bill to Donna Carlene Witzman. I have never been a Witzman.
Not voluntarily, anyway.
Oh, hell no.
It seems you got drafted for that company.
But a power company, they should not have that ability.
I think the clue is in the power company because the power definitely went to their heads.
Yeah.
Sounds that way, for sure.
Oh,
But yeah, we still get bills to Donna Carlene Witzman.
After my second wife passed away, her probation officer called me wanting me to pay the rest of her DUI fines. And I said, she's dead. We just went to her funeral last week. I didn't get a DUI. My name's nowhere on those papers. And she goes, oh, no. You've got to pay the rest of this. I'm going, no, I don't think so. Matter of fact, let me call my lawyer. When I said the magic word lawyer, said probation officer, officer just kind of went, no, you're not legally liable to pay her fines, and I let it go from there. So I never had to pay the rest of that, and thankfully, because uh, my lawyer at the time was one of the most highly regarded criminal lawyers in the next county, and by this, criminal lawyer was really applicable. Sorry, Mr. Silver.
So, criminal lawyer, as in he was actually a criminal, or he was a defense attorney?
Yes, Matthew, it
Yes.
is.
Yes.
All of the above,
All of
Yeah.
the above.
aka a
Yeah.
lawyer.
Hey,
No,
when-
not all lawyers are bad.
no, not at all. He was really good.
Like
He
about
managed-
400 of the 600 are at the firm are really, really good.
I want Saul.
Yeah.
I better call Saul.
uh,
It's all good, man.
Yeah. Yes, Matthew, it is on YouTube. Look for Last Man Standing on the Dan Hollifield. Or if you must, Stupid O'Clock. But
um,
the cool kids are in the Dan Hollifield room,
yep.
which says
Last Man-
311 instead of
Last Man
411.
Standing is on my YouTube channel, and Stupid O'Clock is on several of Joe Dog's YouTube channels.
Wait, you want another funny? After we got married, Carl, of course, put me on his work insurance. For 20 years, I tried them to get them to take the Witzman off my name. And they finally did, but they decided I needed not one, but two middle initials. My insurance reads Donna C.C. Carlene.
What does the extra C stand for?
Oh, hell if I know. I don't even know what the first C stands for.
Donna Carly Carlene.
No, that's what Carly's with a K.
Oh, with a K. Excuse
Yeah.
me. I forgot that. I beg your forgiveness, your Empress.
KC and the Sunshine Band.
And Matthew found us on YouTube.
I wonder if the front room
Ah,
finally
very good.
starts thinking. Barry is a complete idiot tonight, and apparently it's not the first time he's done this. Is actually the second time he's done it. Stood on the coffee table, staring at Misty with his ass hanging right over a candle. Literally, right over a candle. So
Jack be nimble, Jack be quick.
he didn't realize that his ass hair was on fire. Misty had to put the candle out, and
the
yeah,
cat?
it
And
stank
then
for a while.
I'm sorry. I'm getting an image of him sitting there, and then all of a sudden he farts, and the flame goes.
And lights a
I was-
candle
I was-
across
I
the
was-
room.
I was afraid of that because that would have went right into the citronella and the peace plant.
Ooh.
Because we actually have a citronella plant on the coffee table as well. So that would have gone up quick. The oils in that.
Mhm. And Matthew, I try and add these shows to a continuous playlist on my YouTube channel after we're through. Sometimes I forget at the end of the show to do that, and it might take me a day or two to update the playlist, but they are all there, warts and all, even last Thursday. I should have deleted that when I was very
Oh,
drunk at the time. Um,
I don't know if you noticed,
What? Didn't
but
notice.
your the first line says 03/11/24 instead of 04.
I do
told him.
not set up the shows. Joe Dog sets up the shows.
I know who sets up the shows, but I'm going.
Sabotage.
That's not the. Oh, wait a minute. Down in the lowercase, it had 4/11. Okay, that's the one I want. But
I think the first line
I
is
think this.
the
What?
date that Joe Dog actually set up the links for the shows because
Ah.
he's already got this weekend's
Mm-hmm.
stupid o'clock and Last Man Standing set up, and there was one month where he had everything set up for the entire month. And I'm going, okay, we will just go through these one at a time till we get to the right one.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Thesis. Glad to have you. So obviously you are home safely.
Yes.
Good. And Thesis enters and everybody goes quiet because we were talking about him.
No, it's because he owns swords and we're afraid to offend him.
Oh, hell, I ain't afraid of him.
I know, you got a battle axe. Although Carl can be very sharp at sometimes. Oh, God, he's going to watch this tomorrow.
That was so funny Monday because he's pointing out there's Venus and there's Jupiter. And Don goes, oh, and there's the comet. And he looks up and goes, oh, yeah. And as soon as it was out of her mouth, she realized, no, I'm looking at a plane.
Right.
But it took him a full minute and a half to realize, oh, no, that's a plane, not a comet. I'm standing over there. I had to lean up against the car because I was laughing so hard at him.
The probably decided that one of you went over on, and there's Uranus.
And then the little gal came out of Casey's to look, and of course you saw where he had to go.
I saw that, yes. Ooh.
And of course, you know my question: does she cook and clean?
I know Carl's answer. Does it matter?
Yes, it does.
It matters to you. Does it matter?
I
to
don't
him?
clean, and I don't do a lot of cooking. Sister wife has to cook and clean.
Hey, there is a reason for order of precedence. Damn, that dipped way back to SCA days.
And Don is learning how to be a very good Carl navigator because I make her sit up front so they can talk Munsey so she can hear him. Because you know you man, you'd say turn right here, and we meant turn right at the light, but you start to turn in the middle of the block where there's nowhere to turn into.
But you said turn right, so we're turning.
Really?
So she's with Ted. She's already learned to say turn right at the next light. So we're going across 36 with. It's just a small road, 2-lane highway, filled with little towns, and we get to the first one, and I see the speed sign before he does, and from the back seat I go 40, and he slows it down. We go through town, he speeds back up, and we get to the next one, and before I can say anything, Don goes 40. It slows back. All right. Training has gone well.
You have snatched the pebble from my hand, Padawan.
And it only took one lesson.
Hey, She's
She's
very
good,
she's
yeah.
very quick on the uptake. May have to get. No, I don't want to do that. Lindsay will get mad. I can't.
Can't make Lindsay mad. No, no, no.
Oh no. Um, she's irritated enough at her TV show.
Uh-oh.
She was watching this thing. Evidently, it's multinational. And when it got to the episode with the Australians, she's going, these people cannot be that stupid. This has got to be scripted because somebody had to tell them to be that stupid on purpose. I'm going,
No.
possible. No. This is one of those reality game shows
Oh.
where, yeah,
Stupidity is the first requirement, right?
well, it could be very judicious editing to make people look stupid and
Or more
make
stupid.
make the bad guys look like they are bad guys when they might actually be quite subtle and intelligent, and make the good guys be kind of innocent and trusting when they're actually not. But I stood there on my way to the fridge one night and I'm looking at it and I'm going, no, this is scripted. Ain't no way. No. Human beings cannot be this stupid without a script.
Oh, yes.
Oh, dear.
No, they can't.
Hey, I live in Georgia.
My sweet summer
Please.
child.
Boy.
Let me introduce you to some of my father's family.
Let me introduce you to the sovereign citizen movement.
Introduce you to people from the Mormon Church.
Holy
shit!
I
emphasis
did
on the first word, yes.
Let me introduce you to my ex-sister-in-law, who thinks we have black squirrels because regular squirrels mated with a black cat.
What?
3 words. Church of Scientology.
Me introduce you to my current sister-in-law. I can ask her
Church of
7-year-old daughter what an open-faced sandwich was. She was 32.
There was some lady politician on the news the other day talking about the moon being made of gas. That was
No, that was no, that's your husband's made of gas, and he mooned you.
I have infinite faith in the level of human stupidity that we can achieve as a species.
And there was an actress, she was on a talk show and she was telling that she didn't know until she was like 42 or something that the moon and the sun were 2 different things. I'm like, what the fuck? What?
What did she think they had a dimmer switch for nighttime?
Well, what did she think when they were both in the sky at the same time?
It's smoke and mirrors, kid. It's smoke and mirrors. It's always smoke and mirrors. This show's gonna get canceled for this one.
That one's got to go in a story somewhere.
Oh Lord, everything we experience can wind up in a story if we're bold enough to put it there.
I'm sorry, I have an autistic nephew that knows better than that.
BRB.
I have a dead grandmother that knows better than that. Oh Lord. No, I have an infinite faith in the stupidity of the human species, but when it comes to a TV show, I've got to believe in plot bunnies.
Well, that's true. And there's
'Cause
also the fact that it may not be exactly scripted, but they've been told this is the way we want you to act.
mhm,
It's
Been pointed in a certain direction and told to run with it.
Yeah.
mhm.
it's like American Idol.
Especially when it's one of those things where it's totally out of character for that particular character.
hmm And then if they don't do it right, okay, here's your script.
There was a totally different game show that we know the host, and he swore up and down, no, it was not scripted. It was re-edited to make it look this way.
Mm, I don't doubt
So
that.
people who were perfectly wonderful were made to be the villain, and people that were rather self-centered were re-edited so that they appeared innocent.
That would be
And
me.
that was the producers doing that. Um,
I would be so innocent of everything that was going on.
mm,
Well, I've got one
and you
more.
would lose.
I've got one more that happened the other day. A lady on The View. Of course, on The View, it's not a surprise. She said that the eclipse is caused by climate change.
Climate change. Yep.
Then why has it been going on since eternity began?
And cicadas are climate change too, because we're going to have cicadas every 13 and 17 years. And this year, the 13 and the 17 are combining at the same time. So we're going to have like a mass eruption of cicadas. But it
One of
happens.
the 13-year broods, because there's actually 3 or 4 different 13-year broods that are staggered by a year.
Like one of the main 13-year ones and the 17-year one, they've converted.
First time since Lincoln. Yep. They've actually converged. So yeah, even
something years, right?
I think it's the first time in 108 years that this has happened. This convergence.
203.
Let me guess.
Yeah, if it was Lincoln last time, it wouldn't be that long. But
yeah, it might. Yeah, sorry, it's like me methendo.
Let me guess. The political party they are not affiliated with is the cause of volcanic eruptions and sunspots, and they probably don't believe in sunspots because the Earth is flat. So. Like I said, I have an infinite faith in human stupidity. I live in Georgia. I have to. Otherwise, I would go totally insane out of frustration with.
Well,
no, I can't park
than-
there. It's a no parking zone. What do you mean I'm required to park in a no parking zone? No, let me go over here. No, I don't have a handicap sticker on my car. I'm not intending to go in the handicap parking space. No, I'm not going to park in the zone next to the electric vehicle recharging stations. Just look, all I want is a loaf of bread. Leave me alone.
First time since 1803 that broods and 19 and 13 will co-emerge.
So it's going to be noisy out there.
That's what they say.
Very noisy. for about couple weeks, right?
Some places they've already started emerging, but usually I want to say I think it's late April through early August, late July.
I was going to say most of the summer.
It depends on the temperature and the humidity at the same time. And I say that just because I'm a farmer and I know this shit. Or was. I'm a retired farmer, but I still know this shit.
It was when the cicadas were out 17 years ago that I found out that's what my tinnitus sounds like. I was helping a friend with a newspaper route, and he goes, "Wow, the cicadas are really loud tonight." And I'm like, "I don't hear anything." And he says, "You don't hear that?" And he kind of made the noise, and I'm like, "Yeah, I hear that, but that's my tinnitus. I hear that all the time." And he's like, "Okay, your tinnitus is what cicadas sound like." And I'm like, "Oh, really?" Now I know how to explain it to others.
Mine sounds like TV static, the high pitched TV static, almost a whistle, and it just drives me. It never goes away.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, the 1970s, 1980s TV sets that would have that high pitched whine for the first few seconds when you turned it on, and then the last few seconds when you turned it off before it finally died.
The whine almost had a static sound to it. You know, almost a whistling static, and that's what this sounds like. It's like
when
sometimes I can
cicadas are at their height, I intend to go out with a digital recorder so that I can get the perfect flying saucer sound.
Sorry. 5 17-year broods, 2 13-year broods, at least here in northern India.
And Thesis, what was that link you just posted?
To his
the video that I just uploaded a couple hours ago.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know that I want to spoil that yet. I will flash it up if you want me to.
I mean, I wouldn't have put it in there.
You posted it. And this is Saturday night or something planned for Saturday night show?
No, this is the journal creating video that I.
Oh, okay. I understand now. Yeah, this
but
is
the
totally
link for Saturday's show is already up.
Yes.
Yeah, the asshole that you made that journal for better appreciate it.
I hope so.
I'm pretty sure I will. Thank you.
Just had to find an hour to set aside to actually record the making of the damn thing. That's why it took so long.
That's like when I finally got the bill for the chains that I commissioned Richie to make for the signs for Lindsay and I for Hallowcon. He goes, "Hey, paid in full, a box of books." And I'm going, "You?" I wanted to pay you for your work.
You did.
No. You paid me for my work with copies of your work.
Sometimes that's what you do.
Hey, well, it still feels like I cheated Richie.
Nah.
But
I feel like I cheated him by taking this long to make this damn thing.
You spent a lot more time writing those books than it took me to make those chains.
Well, I'll have to give you that point. But I do like to be able to support my friend. It's like when Nick was going to give me a free copy of his book, and I go, "No, I demand to be able to pay for this."
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Well, here's how you repay me. If anyone asks where you got those change and how can they get any, you give them my email address.
I am
Yep.
thinking strongly about trying to print out that particular information so that if anybody asks, because I won't be at the table. I'll be at a totally different table because of
Oh,
circumstances.
I'll have cards with me. I can hook the table up with cards.
Oh, that'll be perfect. That'll be perfect. Oh, that means I've got to.
Won't do any good for LibertyCon, but for
No,
Hallowcon, we're good.
LibertyCon, I just show up and I'm on panels, and I take a few books with me that I don't expect to sell any. I have before, but like 5 copies of something, and that's it for the entire weekend.
Yeah.
At Hallowcon, I can sell out of shit because there's so many people. Well, there's not that many people there, but there are more people interested in what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
At LibertyCon, I'm just one out of a multitude. So I don't mind. I love LibertyCon. I love being on panels. Um, at Hallowcon, I'm just going, I'm just here to party, folks. This is what I do. This is who I am.
So that's like we just carry a box of books in the van at all times,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
if we're not planning on selling.
Well, you have to have it's a backup, really.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, just in case somebody is interested, Carl will wander out to the van, smoke half a cigar, and come back in. Because those are really big cigars. You can't go through them quickly. Um,
Again, if you want to bring that up real quick.
mm, mm.
Yes.
Yes, that was what I was presented with. I'm going, damn, Richie, I wanted to give you money. Uh, evidently, and no, there's no way I'm going to put that way because I know it will be taken the wrong way. Um, evidently, reading material was sufficient unto the day. Um, and
Hey,
believe
as
it or
far as
not,
I'm concerned, books are gold. I mean,
hey,
Yeah.
I gave Lindsay a copy of Disposable Man, and she flips through it and she goes, "That's nice, dear," and she sets it down and then goes back to watching TV. And I'm going, "So where's my mother?" No, no. I mean, there's one book that hasn't been published yet that I had uh, mailed Lindsay a printout of, and she was reading it on the 3-day bus journey when she was moving from New Mexico to here, and we had never even seen each other in the flesh before. She said by the end of the first chapter, I forgot you were the one writing it. I was so engrossed in the story, and I'm going, I don't believe that I've ever received higher praise in my life. And then she still married me 6 months later. Um, um, yes, I'm lucky, but can't think of a way to end that paragraph without making it sound insulting to Lindsay, and I'm not going to do that because I want to keep her. Uh,
And on the topic of books coming out, Rich, you know, Carl and you still haven't gotten together about a cover. And he's kind of free now because he just finished my book that's coming out this month, so he's got some time.
In other words, he needs something to do to keep him out of Aunt Donna's hair.
Oh no, I mean that's the idea of the castle. He's over there in the West Wing watching his YouTube and doing his little weather balloon thing, and
Get
I'm
him
hearing
scratched by cats.
I'm hearing the West Wing ignoring the hell out of him.
She wants a physical copy of the book that she edited.
Yes.
I mean, that's pretty high
And the
praise,
problem with that is
It's time.
No,
It's
that-
got to get out of there. I mean, I've
Yeah.
only half quiche'd you. I need to go full quiche on you now, I guess.
oh god, you've just been threatened, dude. Not only going to be a book, going to be an ad campaign.
We can, we can get a cover on it. We can get a blurb for it, and we can talk about it on Nick's show.
You can talk about it here. You can talk about it on Stupid
Maybe we can
O'Clock.
get you on Ryan Persimmon's show.
I am never going to live that down.
Yeah, but knowing how I feel about Ryan, I just love it. And I'm saying that as I'm saying Rich go on that show as someone who's never said, "Yeah, put me on your show," because he doesn't invite anybody. You have to go to him.
You have
That-
to
that's
petition
right.
the Overlord for that one.
him and Mr. Beyond are you must come to me and present me with why I should. Yes, fuck yeah, I'm not in there.
You must present me with a shrubbery.
Well, he's how he feels about women's opinions anyway.
Or
he does not
anybody
wa-
other than his own.
He does not want me on his show.
Which one?
Uh,
Or both?
I'm speaking mostly about Persimmon, but yeah. He was on Stupid O'Clock one night talking about movies and stuff. And I put in my 2 cents about some movie. And I was totally dismissed because that was not a good opinion of that movie. And I'm like, but I said I liked it. And I said what I liked about it. But evidently, and I have no time for fools. You dissed me once. I'm done with you.
Oh.
I can be overlooked because okay. Too much stuff going on. I was overlooked. No problem. But to actually come right out and say that's not a valid opinion.
I just had a very evil thought.
What?
Can you imagine him trying to debate Rob about movies?
That would be fun.
Not for him.
It would be for me.
I mean, seriously, Rob knows his shit. I mean, this
That
guy
panel
knows
needs-
stuff about old movies that I don't know, and I was there when they were made.
That panel needs to be Rob, Skunk, Ryan, and I want to ride shotgun.
Hey, I do believe that Rob and Skunk would wind up being very, very good friends.
So do I. I think Ryan would totally get spanked like he stole a cookie if he tried to debate those two on movies.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and never mind the fact that Skunk has an even more dynamic personality than Ryan does.
I'd watch that show.
I'd pay for. I'd be the producer of that show.
Got out of my head. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, I would pay for this to happen.
Oh dear. I have the most.
And the other two are
interesting
going,
thing.
I wonder who this persimmon is, and I don't think I want to meet him.
Yeah, no, doesn't sound like anybody I'd want to know. So I'm fine just being over here.
Well, he. You know how in some shows you're on, you can't get a word in edgewise. Even Joe Dog can't get a word in edgewise.
And it was his own damn show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
5 other people on the screen other than Ryan, and none of us could get a word in edgewise.
And that was the night that the invite list to Stupid O'Clock got changed.
Yeah, and I just last week got permission to start inviting people, which is why I was finally able today to get Paul an invite to the shows.
Yeah.
Because Joe Dog went, no, admins but me. Nobody can touch this list.
Yep, and that was the night that somebody on the show got slapped down because he did invite Persimmon.
Well, that that will never equal the night that I got very upset with someone for dissing one of our very good friends.
I just wished I'd been there to see it. From what I hear, Mr. Dan called somebody an ass. Yeah, our southern gentleman. In a very southern gentlemanly way was how it was reported to me.
Let's just say, when it comes to my friends, I am very protective. And I will not stand for them to be slagged off on. And that's about enough that needs to be said about that, because I think they still watch this show.
They would never recognize themselves.
I certainly hope not.
No.
I certainly hope not.
Nope. Because
no, with the amount of hubris they were.
Yeah.
Can't be talking about me. I'm perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, in my defense, it's very, very difficult to raise my ire. But when it does get raised, I put on my aspect and summon my avatar. And even I don't want to face me. Let's change the subject to something else. How about that Babylonian Tupperware? It keeps stuff really good for a long time, but it's really hard to burp. Yeah, I stole that from probably Monty Python, but I don't know.
What? Kitty cat.
Yeah.
He thinks he needs to be fed. He probably does too.
He thinks he needs to be fed, but he's
midnight snack.
Oh, we've got one that has been running in the door faster than light speed when I'm trying to let the dog out. And yes, I let the dog out. Um, that he's
Oh,
got a voice on him.
hi, kitty, kitty.
That Spot,
That is a very beautiful cat.
he's a good boy. He's an old boy. I didn't know how old he was. I picked him up. The lady said his owner died, and she thought he was like 4 and thought he was female. And I took him to the vet right away. He looked terrible. He just looked horrible, and um, he's obviously a boy, and he's old. The vet said at least 10, if not older. He's got cataracts. I think he can only hear out of one ear. If you say you'll yell or something or make a noise, and you'll only look to the right, no matter what side you are on him. He'll look to the right when you make a noise. Shed's so bad.
Well, that's what those
Shed
really good vacuum cleaners are for.
So we have banisters on both around the floors, both in the back servants' quarters and in the front here. And Calvin has taught the other cats that it's okay to get up and walk on them.
Ooh.
Yeah. So Carl looks out his office door down that little short hallway, and Strips is on the edge of the banister there, staring across the stairs at the wall. And there's a little chandelier up there. It's over the stairwell, of course. Stupid place to put lights, but that's what they did. And Strips is like, I think I can reach it. And Carl turned away for a moment and heard thump. And he had jumped across, except there's nothing across there to land on. He hit the wall and fell down the stairs. He's okay. He's all right. Hopefully a little smarter, although we'll have to see.
If that didn't knock some sense into him, nothing will. Oh, gravity works. Bump.
There's a wall there.
Sometimes Spot's really smart, and sometimes he's just a cat. And but he's pretty good about, like, if I don't want him on something, he won't get on it. But he's getting bad about, he will not scratch a scratching post. I had a chair that I had to move because he would run up to it and scratch the living shit out of it. And I put a couple of scratching posts in front of it, and that he stopped scratching the chair and the scratching post. He wouldn't even go near those. Now he's got to where when we go in the kitchen, he'll scratch the wall. And the other day he peeled, like on the door frame, he peeled a little strip of paint off, and I'm like, oh no, you can't do that now.
The wallpaper in my kitchen has been there since the 60s. And it's starting to come off, which is okay with me because I want it off and paint it anyway. Himoni has started helping me because he found a loose piece down by the floor. And little by little, he's tearing off the wallpaper down there. And I'm like, man, if I could just get you up there to reach that part that goes over the cabinets, that'd be all right.
So you have a kind of yellow wallpaper situation?
If you quit teaching him not to get up on the cabinets.
I have had cats all my frickin' life. And Calvin and Himoni are and they're teaching Strips too. I cannot keep them off of anything. And then people are like, oh, put bubble wrap up there. They won't like that. Uh, yeah, should have taken the picture of Strips lying asleep on the bubble wrap up on the shelf. Put tinfoil over there. No. 2 words. Crinkle ball. What do you think those are made of? They're tinfoil. Oh, mommy put toys on this shelf to play with.
In the past month, I have encountered a problem with the dog. Now, granted, this is a German Shepherd the size of a deer. But either when I go to bed at night, she just flops across my leg or my chest or whatever, just absolutely, totally affectionately. But I'm one of those sleepers where I've got to roll over to this side, roll over on my back, roll over to that side. I can't do that with a dog that weighs 90 pounds
Weighing you
on
down.
top of me. Talk about a gravity blanket. This is a gravity dog. But
Somebody's saying something.
On the ground, he's eating it, fell and punched up the taste of them. I'm like, that's what you get, motherfucker. He took my food. He got up on his head.
I don't think we're actually privy to that conversation.
Anyway, and just when you're almost ready to strangle them, they do something cute.
Oh, she's just absolutely adorable with how affectionate she is.
Mm-hmm.
And if Lindsay gets up and goes to feed the cats like early in the morning, like, oh my God, I'm not getting awake at this hour for me. Now that I'm retired, the dog will jump off the bed, go follow every step. Lindsay has to go, no, no, no. This is cat food. You can't have any. You'll get fat. And goes outside, feeds the cats outside, feeds the cats on the porch, and comes back in. Here's your food in just the perfect proportion that the veterinarian said. Don't give her any more than this.
Yeah, right.
And the dog just goes, oh, well, thank you, mother.
I'm going to shut my door halfway, so if you're walking by, you're not going to end up on camera. Although you're so short, you wouldn't show up on camera anyway. As far back as you are, you would be walking beneath the level of my chair in my head. I love you.
Earlier today,
I damn near muted that microphone, but I didn't, and now I wish I had.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. She will go and lay at Lindsay's feet, or jump up on the couch next to Lindsay while she's watching TV shows. And then when I walk through the room, it's like, Daddy's awake. I can get a treat if I beg right.
Yeah.
No, I'm wise to that shit. No, that ain't gonna happen. Mama's in charge of food.
I guess a little bit ago, Misty wasn't paying attention to the rest of her Italian beef sandwich sitting on the table next to her.
Uh-oh.
And Barry managed to snatch it and get it to the floor. And shortly after he snatched it and got it to the floor, Bella ran over, chased him off, and grabbed it and ran off with it, ate the rest of it. And Misty was like, that's what you get for stealing my food.
Anyway, yeah, earlier today, Himoni had tried my patience terrifically. I was laying down on the floor doing my floor exercises, and the little mother comes up, lays down, puts his head against mine, and just purrs and puts his little paw out and pats my chin and just purrs. And I'm like, and I was so happy being mad at you. Now I can't be mad at you.
Oh, I know, I know. I when Mama isn't busy doing something that interests the dog, Kimber will come back to the bedroom while I'm still asleep, jump up and put her paw on my arm, or drape her head across my chest, or lay across my legs where I can't possibly move. And I'm just going, this is, cute enough to give me diabetes. It's so sweet. And I'm going, dog, you got, mm. Um and then she'll go outside and she'll see the neighbor's cat chasing a rabbit through my yard. And she will bound like a gazelle off in that direction. And we don't know whether she's chasing the cat or the rabbit. And both of them are behind a chain link fence where they're safe. Um, but that doesn't stop the dog. No, she's definitely. I see why these are police dogs. They get very, very loyal to a very few people, and
Hmm.
anything that moves is a threat.
Mm-hmm.
And they go on point, on guard, and it's no wonder the coyotes have abandoned the yard. Um, I mean, now that my cat Susie's dead, and she was the biggest threat to coyotes in the entire county, they they would walk up, look through the fence, and go, "She's awake. Let's go." I mean, we're talking about a regular sized lap cat, but she had attitude as big as Fenris. Um,
Hey, Mac. Yeah,
hey,
we
and
had it.
now it's Kimber going outside going, I speak your language. I know what you're planning.
Leave my friends alone.
You really, you come inside this fence, I'm going to eat you, and not in a fun way.
Yep.
Um,
We had a German Shepherd, appropriately named Sergeant Schultz, of course. And he was primarily my mom and my dog, but he was also very good when the grandkids would come over. There was about only three of them at the time, just little tots. And he knew my sister-in-law's younger brother. He played with my sister-in-law's younger brother. Let him, was petted by him and all that stuff. But comes in from the field, and the kids are in the yard, and Schultz took a stance in front of them and kind of growled at him. And Gerald made the mistake of saying, "Oh, shut up." And he didn't kick at him, but he kind of was pushed him aside with his foot. Yeah, we had to come out and take Schulte away so that Gerald could get down off the top of the car.
Kimber has a few special toys that do never ever get dismantled for the stuffing inside. Now, other toys do almost immediately become destuffed, but she's got this little teeny tiny purple hedgehog that she will carry around like it was a baby and just very gently make it squeak and then lay down next to it and snuggle it. And uh, there are very few toys that do not get forcibly dismembered, but this is one that has survived for several years. There are a couple of others that get treated with the same kind of respect. Her giraffe. Uh, she got a little stuffed giraffe that she absolutely loves because it seems to her vision is the same coloration as her. She's going, "Oh my baby."
Yeah. When we had the prisoner exchange, April brought along some of Himoni's favorite toys so that he would feel more at home. And she's like, he probably won't, maybe you ought to keep these in your room so that just he can play with it because these are his favorite toys. I'm like, okay, no problem. One was an octopus on a string that's his very favorite. He plays for hours with that. Tried to play it with him. Nope. Okay, I'll put it up here on this TV tray and keep it just for you. He got up on the TV tray, took the octopus down, and took it to charcoal and laid it in front of her as like he was saying, you can play with this. Like, okay. I think I figured it out. He played with them so much because he was the only cat down there.
Mm-hmm.
But now he's got 4 other cats to play with, and he's very generous with his toys.
Like maybe next year or the year after, I'd like to look into getting a corgi. Always wanted one.
Those are adorable.
They're very good dogs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're very loyal. They're very affectionate.
They don't live very long.
Well, no.
Just keep them away from jam.
For sure.
It'll look like a murder scene.
They only live like 10 to 12 years on average. So that's pretty short even for a dog. So
yeah.
But they're adorable. I've wanted one for years. I'm gonna have to get allergy shots before I get one, but
yeah.
Find a breeder
are there short-haired and long-haired varieties, or
sort of? But it doesn't matter.
Medium.
I say it doesn't really matter their hair; it's their dander and saliva, just like with cats.
Yeah, the cat. I'm allergic to my cat, but not as bad as I'm allergic to dogs. Like some people are super allergic to cats.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not. I'm just normal to cats. It just kind of bothers me if I don't wash my hands after I handle her or handle him. Then it'll make my eyes itch or whatever. But a dog, I can't. I get sick, really sick. I can't breathe. My eyes swell up. So I'm gonna have to get shots before I get one.
Carl's brother he's always had a dog, but he now has 2 cats, and he is extremely allergic to cats. So what does he get? 2 long-haired cats. He has to take medicine. Carl and I are both allergic to cats. I had solved that earlier in my life by having Siamese. If you're allergic to cats, their saliva and their dander is different, and you can have a Siamese cat. There is not a Siamese cat among the 5 we have now. Yeah. Sinus medicine once in a while helps, but we're usually all clogged up.
I had a long-haired cat when my kids were little, and she didn't shed half as much as this cat does. This cat, I mean, I don't know how he's not bald. It's just hair everywhere, constantly.
I've noticed that with short-haired cats.
But he's not short-haired, though.
Medium?
Yeah, medium to long. Some of his hair is really long. I mean, around his face, he looks like a short-haired cat, but the rest of not. And the other cat, the cat I used to have, you know, when the kids were little, she didn't. She was a long-haired cat, but she hardly ever had. She didn't have problems with hairballs, and she didn't shed like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And this cat, man, I try to feed him the right foods and do this and that. And he's always got hairballs, and it's like.
Have you tried that gel medicine that they have to prevent hairballs?
Mm.
It's like a malt flavor, I believe, but it works wonders.
I have to look into
And my cats, especially my Siamese, used to ask to have it.
Huh. Yeah, is that something you have to get from the vet, or can you get it from the store?
You can get it from the store. Myers has it. Walmart has it. A little hard since the plague, but it's there.
You know what it's called?
Heart's hairball remedy,
Okay.
I think. Just something simple like that. But when you're looking in with all the flea medicines and stuff, you'll probably see just about 2 tubes on the shelf because it seems like they never have more than 2 tubes.
That's because it's so popular.
It works well. And my vet was really surprised when they found out, oh, they asked for it? And I'm like, yeah.
Huh.
We don't even think, oh, I need to give the cat some hairball medicine. They'll come up and go, I need them.
Wow.
Hey, got any more of that hairball medicine, Mom?
But yeah, my Siamese never did shed, like especially Himoni. He's a short hair and it just flies.
Oh yeah, I sweep my stairs every day. But I don't anymore. I gave up because my stairs just have hair. I don't have carpet. I have cat hair.
Yeah.
Get an aerosol ball of glue. Sooner or later, you'll have a carpet.
Exactly.
When I was working out at the college, I had a colleague who I used to take cat hair to her, and she would put it around her house because she said it kept the mice away.
Oh yeah, that really makes sense.
Okay.
Hey, it might work for her, but I got cats outdoors. I got cats on the porch.
And you got mice.
We've got some that find their way from the crawl space into the cabinets.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason we still have those is because the cats haven't figured out how to open the damn cabinets yet.
Calvin
They will. They will. They're evolving thumbs.
Calvin knows how to open my drawers. I
on that line.
My cabinet drawers. But between the time when we had the 7 cats, we had a 2-year period of no cats, which was hard. I opened my silverware drawers and found droppings, which made me kind of freak out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not scared of mice, but I don't like seeing droppings on my silverware, so I dumped all the drawers, washed everything, and then I got... they're not Tupperware, they're generic. In fact, a couple of them are shoebox things you put your shoes in, and put all my stuff in that. Everything in my kitchen now is in a plastic box with a lid on it. And I haven't seen any signs since then.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, since I retired, we found out that not only am I allergic to codeine, but more importantly, I'm allergic to work. Which which annoys the piss out of my wife because she's got my honeydew list went from the length of War and Peace to the length of the Encyclopedia Britannica. Um,
I hear you there, Mac. Yeah.
I'm not a good housekeeper. I'm thinking about saving up and hiring a maid at least once a month or something.
Hey, why do you think I want my sister wife to clean and cook? But yeah, I understand, Mac. My bestie was on vacation here about a week ago, and we went in and took care of their chickens and their cat. And I kind of do a walk around the house. And
here's to you, brother.
Everything looked okay. She just told me yesterday that, yeah, there were 6 puke piles that she found. And I'm like, but it wasn't there when I looked. I don't know where she hid them.
Hyperspace.
Hyperspace hairballs. That sounds like either
that
good
sounds like
ball,
a story prompt, doesn't it?
Yeah. Mac. Have you ever heard of Maynard G. Krebs?
Works.
Oh my goodness, that takes me back.
There's a 4-letter word for you.
The Loves of Debbie Gillis. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. I always liked Maynard. I liked Maynard better than Gilligan. Gilligan was cool, but Maynard was my man.
Yeah. Well,
Mac,
I just said the name of the show, so. Oh, sorry, Paul.
Well, one of the names of the show, they've had about 3 different names.
Yeah. Well, when he was on Dobie Gillis or whatever, it was hard. I was just old enough or whatever for Gilligan, but too young for the other stuff. So.
Oh, yeah, because that was in the late 50s, early 60s.
Yeah.
Mostly early 60s, because late 50s would have been too soon for me, being born in 56.
Well, I think it was filmed in the late 50s because it was very beatnik era. The 60s is already
was big on beatniks, though, too.
Well, they
early 60s would have been, yeah, probably.
Yeah, but by the middle 60s, they'd already developed to hippie culture and stuff like that. So
yeah, but if you remember on the Beverly Hillbillies, when Ellie Mae got
I certainly remember this.
And Jethro got into the beatnik scene, man.
Well, I mean that would have. They started out in the early. They started out in the early 60s, or was it late 50s for the Beverly Hillbillies? They were around for a long time. That show was around for a while. It went from black and white to color.
It went from black and white to color, yeah. So that I do believe they started in the early 60s, if not 1960.
1962.
62. Thank you. But have you ever seen photographs of Irene Ryan when she was younger?
Oh, she was gorgeous.
She was as hot as Betty White back in the day. Yeah.
62 to 1971. They got paid in new dollars, you know. These young kids are going, what the fuck are they talking about?
Hey, I remember Lindsay complaining about having to adapt from the old British money to
euros?
to decimal pounds. And I don't know that she's ever adapted to euros. She's been over here for
ever.
Well, probably longer than she wants me to mention, but
that's why I stepped in there.
Mm-hmm. I do believe Michelle was barely a teenager when she and Lindsay came across, and Lindsay was getting her citizenship, and
And who?
oh, and Michelle, I think it was uh, last year, or was it year before last? She finally got around to getting her American
Oh,
citizenship.
cool.
Yeah, I'm going
So
great.
which of us old folks is going to smack Mac
Um,
for that last crack?
mm, I'm sorry, but Dawn jokes that if Uncle Carl ever wrote his memoirs, it'd have to be in Sanskrit. And then I'm going, yeah, but I was there when cuneiform was invented, honey. Um, turn a mud pie into an encyclopedia. Yep, I know how to do that. Um, officially, um, we're not talking about the reincarnations, all right? Um, there's a reason why Nick Tockert thinks I'm one of the old gods of Appalachia, and there's a reason why people actually enjoy that old Dan story. Um, I wish I could make the second one work. I really do. Um, I got I got 3,500 words into it, and I go, I've lost the thread here. Something's not right. I'm not happy with it. It's not going the way I need it to go. I'm going to have to set this aside. I'm going to have to go do something else for a while until I can actually concentrate on re-editing and um, making certain scenes work much better. Um, it may take a while. I know I can do it. I'm not giving up on it. It's not a blank page. I can edit. I can rewrite. That's fine. But at the moment, the shorthand that it appears to be is not good enough. And I'm,
Okay, Dan,
yeah.
I have an answer for you. Beatniks became popular starting in 1957, and hippies did not come into uh,
Prominent.
consideration until the Vietnam War.
Okay. That's not a huge overlap, actually.
Said about
Um,
7 years.
yeah.
But yeah, that meant in the early 60s, beatniks were still kind of the thing.
When you wrote Phoebe and the Grey Angel in the same boat, yes. Uh, sometimes a writer needs the courage to go save file, come back to it later.
Hmm.
Maybe I need to learn something else, some other thing that I didn't know I was missing before I can properly approach this. Um, Boatniks didn't come around to 1970. Back, I remember that movie. Uh, oh, it's a Bob Crane movie. Um,
Yeah.
oh dear, miss that dude. Oh,
I used to get in trouble with my ex-wife when I learned the Beatles song "She Loves Me" in German, and I would sing it at the grocery store. Piss her off for some reason. Well, she leave dick.
Oh, yeah.
She leave dick, yeah, yeah, yeah. She leave dick, yeah.
if she's smart, she don't leave it. Um,
Lieb. She loves Lieb.
Lieb. Lieb.
That would be
Lieb.
Depends on your accent.
Yeah.
the Liebedish, yeah.
Well, the way that came out when the Beatles were singing it on the recording that I listened to was "She Lieb Dick," so that's the way I was singing it.
Actually,
I could
it should
believe
be
Lennon would do it that way.
Liebedish. Because it's "She Loves Me," isn't it? Not "She Loves You."
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, but I sang it the way they did.
We're talking about John Lennon and his sense of humor too, Rich.
Yeah, that's true too.
I could totally hear him singing it that way, just to be a dish himself. There's a problem, Matt?
I got in trouble a lot.
Oh yeah, the Beatles did a lot of that shit on purpose. That's
Yeah.
why they were so great.
I have a strange, bizarre sense of humor, I guess, and I find things funny that most people don't.
That's why you fit in so well here.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
That's why you're here.
Yeah, my kids inherited that, and much to my ex's chagrin, but I don't think about her chagrin.
Oh, Paul, you know what my mom used to tell me? If I didn't know better, I'd swear you were your father's.
I think I heard something similar growing up.
Oh, by the way, I'm adopted.
I'm
First
not.
time-
There were rumors.
First time she said that, we were in this brand new store called Kmart. And I was being mouthy me being mouthy. Can you imagine?
Oh no! That's beyond the pale right there. No.
Yeah, no, that's not.
She said that, and we heard from the aisle over, and two little old ladies had heard her say that. And they would go, "She doesn't belong to that woman's husband." And actually, no, I didn't.
My father had when he sneezed, he couldn't sneeze one time. It was like achoo, 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 and he couldn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
So one time in the grocery store, one of his things he would do, it would just, I think it would pop out, and then he couldn't stop doing it when he was sneezing. It was ah shit, ah shit, ah shit, ah shit.
Sorry, I speak Arabic.
Oh yes, Mac. I was around before
Kmart was new.
Mm-hmm.
Oh please, Donna and I remember Zaire.
Zaire, do you remember Airway?
You remember Woolworths?
I hated that
I've been
store.
shopping there many a time.
I hated that store because being tongue-tied, even after having it clipped, I cannot say that.
I know one that only you two will probably remember besides me, TG&Y.
Yeah.
That wasn't in my area. I'd heard of it, but I never. Yeah.
Or the Five and Dime. They had two names. It was the same store, I think. It was TG&Y and the Five and Dime.
I got at the Five and Dime, and my father said I was worth the whole nickel they spent. And now you know where I got my sense of humor.
I used to get a lot of model cars from the Five and Dime. They were rather simplistic, but my parents were looking for something besides books to keep me occupied for more than 5 minutes at a time.
I was wanting to get back into building like Rebel model airplanes and stuff. I used to be really into it when I was a kid. I was a kid. I could afford the glue and the paint and the plane kit. I could afford all of it. Grown up, I started pricing this stuff. No, they're $30, $40, $50 for a little kit.
Mm-hmm.
It's a kit, not nothing else.
And you thought they were expensive back when we were kids.
Really?
No, I don't, Mac. I don't believe.
Price
Do
out
not
at
remember
over $150
GEX at all. No.
But Rich,
I don't believe we had a GEX in our neighborhood.
the model kits I've been looking at and pricing at are running over $150 for the stuff I want.
Wow.
And I'm like, yeah.
I'm
But
just
I'm
gonna
looking for like Robotech. I'm looking for sci-fi.
Robotech.
Yeah, toy kit.
Robotech was expensive back in the 80s. It was like really popular. My friends and I were really into Robotech, and the kits were nobody had it. Well, some of my friends had it, but they were rich friends, I guess. But I've been thinking about like just printing model pieces on my printer.
Hey,
It'd be cheaper
you
than
can
buying
do
it.
that.
Okay.
You can get some really nice model STLs from Gambody, Gambody.
I don't think I've seen that one. I usually go like Thingiverse or whatever. There's Thingiverse and there's
points out to Gambody sometimes, stuff like that. Like Gambody has some really nice Gamera STLs that I'm like, I want, but will it fit within the build volume of my actual that?
What I've had trouble with is getting glue, even the Gorilla Glue, to get my PLA to stick together.
Oh, Mac, that must
seen
be
other
a
people do
big
it.
city sort of thing.
I'm sorry to say this, folks, but we've just gone over the 2-hour mark. So,
Can I leave you with a little laugh?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. K9.
Richie brought up that dreaded store. If I say it slow, I can say Woolworth. But if I say it like other people, it comes out Woolwolf.
That was Paul that brought up that store.
Woolworth, yeah, me. Rich, I've got
I remember it.
I've got the Amazon Astro robot, and I call that K9.
So you're saying it's time to say goodnight, Gracie?
yes, it is. Everybody drop their links, please.
Drop your what? Links.
Yeah, because I know
Oh, you didn't mean that kind of link. Never mind.
Hey. Don't do anything that's going to get you in trouble with your wife.
Hey,
She
my
may be
parents made me
tiny,
big.
but
I
she's
get to live up to it. Yeah, she may be short, but she knows where the pans are, and I have to sleep sometime.
Yeah.
I mean, drop
Well,
your
you
links.
put
Sounds like a
everything up
sausage
high
cook.
so you can hear the chair being drawn across the floor.
Chair? You mean ladder?
Okay. You'll find most of us on indiecd.org.
Yep.
Because it's an ORG, an orgy of creators.
Oh, I like that.
I haven't anything yet, so I've
That's
got
the first time
websites to
I've
work
heard it
on.
put that way, but yeah, it does kind of describe what we do.
Especially my writing. Good
Twitter,
night,
Facebook,
Gracie.
Hustler.
Oh, I love y'all, but I gotta sleep sometime.
No.
Nah.
Yeah.
It's overrated.
If it
He
don't
said
rain
that
tomorrow,
it's
I've
hour
got work to
time.
do.
Bye, Mac.
This boss doesn't work shifts. She's right there every minute of every day. So, good night, Mrs. McKillicuddy, wherever you are. And, if you remember that reference,
We're old. Go good, guys.
Good night, Mr. and Mrs. McGillicuddy, and all the ships at sea.
Yeah. Go good, guys. Thank y'all for being here, and hope to see you again Saturday.
Adios. Muchachos.
Later.
Hit the button.
Transmission overload. System will shut down.
Woohoo!
System will shut down. System will shut down. System will shut down.